Hey, Joey T and the Snob coming at you to do a quick review on what's called a Super-Tuscan. Remember that word, Super-Tuscan. It's a wine produced in Tuscany. It's not in what we call like the Chianti region or Sangiovese, which is a Sangiovese grape. It's not in the Brunello area. It's central Tuscany, and there's rules. I'm not going to get into all the rules of Italian wines, but basically what happens is it's the Sangiovese grape, and then you have to use other varietals, as the Snob would say. I would say grape, like Merlot or Cabernet or Cab Franc. In this case, the I Belzini, which is the wine, it's the red label, and actually this wine has four total labels: white, red, black, and green, and it's just different blends, and some you can sell, or some you drink within a few years. This one I would say is a rather earlier drinker than something that you would put down. Dia Iacento is the maker, and it's a 13.5% alcohol, so it's right about in my sweet spot. I like I said before, around 13%, which is perfectly fine. The grapes or the varietal, Sangiovese is about a third Sangiovese, a third Merlot, and a third Cabernet. Now the cork here I pulled out, the cork about an hour ago. This is like a synthetic cork. I don't know if I talked about that in one of the previous episodes. Perfectly fine as long as it keeps the air out. It's fine. You could have screw tops, and you're seeing a lot of that too, but another episode. All right, so let's do a quick review on this. You see if you can see this, it's a very ruby red wine. I would say it's very elegant, kind of on par with a Pinot Noir, or from France, that'll be the Burgundy. So I would say you're seeing kind of some elegance. You're picking up some of from a Merlot standpoint, some of the fruitier sense. I don't want to say sweet, but it'll add a little of the fruit side to the wine. Cabernet is, the big, bold, meaty, and you're going to see some darkness to it. So I think the Merlot may thin it out a little bit. The Sangiovese, again, my favorite, would bring the earthiness or the rusticness to the wine. And so let's give it a whirl. Okay. Very balanced. If you remember, I talked about the three parts from the acidity, the burn, the tannins. Very little tannins. The Snob would say you'd have soft tannin. And the tannins is what make the wine last. So I don't think this thing will last really long, but it'll go pretty good. This is a 2009, so today it's 2015, so we're at 6 years in. It'll go another couple of years with no problem. I get some black cherry or even some just cherry. I think as the color kind of annotates there, it's a very friendly wine. If you would have, as I mentioned, if you'd have tried this right when you open it, the tannins weren't as soft, and it was kind of a harder drinking wine. And I've had this before, so I'm very well aware of how this wine reacts. In fact, it's probably even better the next day. So cork it, as I showed you in an earlier episode, throw it in the refrigerator, take it out the next day or two, and I think you have a very nice wine. Some of the notes that, if you go online, have this with some cheese. So I had this with some Parmesan Reggiano. I've had a few glasses before, just to make sure that I can get every goodness out of this before I did this quick review. So again, very pleasant. If this the fun part of trying new wines is now you're blending 3 different grapes into an Italian wine, so you're not going to get that very earthiness, as I call it, drinking the dirt. Love it. But it's a little more tamer, a little mellower. You're going to even enjoy something between what would be called New World and Old World type of a wine. And I'll talk about that in another episode, but this is probably right down the middle, and a very nice way to introduce yourself to a Super-Tuscan. So hope you had some fun here, and go find yourself a Super-Tuscan. They're 15 to 20 bucks, and if there's anything that you would want to hear from Joey T and the Snob, shoot me a note, joeyt__t@hotmail.com, and I'll be glad to provide whatever information that I can on what you're looking for. Have fun? I certainly did. Joey T and the Snob, signing out.